everybody! Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a little bit experimental as I got my first set of Copic markers. I've been wanting them for ages, but I couldn't get my head around the cost, so I just went out and bought some. And today I was just kind of experimenting with them, experimenting how they blended with Winsor & Newton markers. I use Winsor & Newton markers normally. I did buy a few more of them while I was buying the Copics. I don't have a problem with them. I really like using them, but I have discovered that I like using Copics more. Not to kind of sound like everyone else, but they genuinely do seem to feel a bit better. In terms of ink, the ink itself is still just as good, and it blended really lovely with the Winsor & Newtons, but the pen itself, how it feels, the nib, it's just so much nicer. I've bought two types of Winsor & Newton markers, the brush markers and the pro markers, and I have to admit I didn't like the brush markers because they felt too soft, too squishy, and the ink doesn't seem to flow as well through that nib as it does through the bullet nib. But the benefit of the brush nib is that it allows blending a bit more smoothly than it does with the bullet. But I couldn't really get the hang of it, and I wasn't really enjoying it, so I went out and bought a load of bullet nibs, because at least then I'd have pigment and I can just keep going over it until it blended. The brush tip on the Copics is a little bit of the best of both worlds. It's a little bit firmer than the Winsor & Newton brush markers, so the ink seems to flow through a lot better, and because it's a brush nib, it allows the blending to be really nice and smooth. So I can't imagine wanting to go back and buy any more Winsor & Newton markers, and I know that's quite a bold statement, but genuinely, if Copics weren't so expensive, I would definitely go out and buy more. At the moment, I only got them as they were on sale in an online store where I was just looking for, deals really, and I jumped at the chance. I spoiled myself, and now I'm not necessarily regretting it, but it is a case of I want those markers and only those markers. Having said that, I will continue to use my Winsor & Newtons. They are great. It's just that the Copics are so much better. But they blend really nicely with each other, so there's no, major issues at all. They're just so nice. Oh, why do they have to be so expensive? Anyway, I am, 3 minutes in, and I haven't actually started talking about the pictures, so I'm going to do that now. So as I said at the beginning, this was an experimental piece. It wasn't meant to turn out well. That wasn't my intention. It was just a way for me to play around with my materials, and some people prefer to practice on a scrap piece of paper, not really doing a picture per se, just kind of scribbling, blending into little squares, doing exercises like that. I don't. I'm impatient. I won't lie to you. When it comes to art supplies and drawing, I just want to dive straight in. I personally don't think there's anything wrong with that, as long as you are prepared to accept that the piece that you're about to make isn't going to turn out well. And I like to see it as a way to practice, various different aspects of art. So here I hadn't ever drawn, this specific scene. In my neighbor Totoro, I've only ever drawn little characters. So to actually place him in a environment, place him with May, the other character there, it was a practice for me as well. And then the other practice came from just using the markers. So this picture wasn't perfect when I started. I am actually really impressed with how it turned out. I really, really love the colours. I you know, greens and just lush, and it's kind of naturey. That's not the word I was looking for, but I'll roll with it. But yeah, I'm not saying exercises are bad. Obviously, you know, they're there for a reason. They're there to help you learn. That being said, when I got my first ever set of markers, they were a really cheap set from Amazon. I think it was like 80 markers for 30 quid or something like that. I did all the exercises there, not saying that I need to, you know, I'm perfect or anything. Of course, in order to maintain, you need to keep practicing, keep going back to those exercises. However, I've been using markers for a fair bit now. Those exercises I put into practice pretty much every single time I use them, which is almost every day. And I haven't felt that they've changed really from marker to marker. I mean, I might be, you know, wrong in saying that because I've only tried 3 different types of markers, but in my opinion, the way you use them doesn't differ. I don't know. I'm coming towards the end now. I haven't spoken about the picture really at all and what I've done. I mean, it was literally just marker work. You can see that. I used my my white gel pen at the end just to add highlights. Also, May's face. Can we just say, how creepy does that look? That wasn't supposed to turn out like that. I mentioned in the last video that I'm not very good at sort of like the anime style, and her face was not turning out well. But considering it was a practice, just an experiment, I think it turned out okay. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!